This is Damon L. Jacobs of We Love Soaps TV, and I'm here with Crystal Chappell and Shawn Christian talking about Days of Our Lives' 45th anniversary book. This is a must-see for all fans of the show. Please watch and go get the book.
It's fantastic.
Get a little sneak peek.
Yeah. I'm here with the beloved Crystal Chappell and Shawn Christian. It's so awesome to see both of you here in New York City. Yay! Now, and we are celebrating and honoring this amazing book, the 45th anniversary, Picture History of Days of Our Lives, and we're going to be talking with the author of that book in just a few minutes. But I wanted to just, this is such a great event, and you two have been such a part of this. Now, I also know New York has been home base for both of you at various times.
Yes.
What's it, where it's winter, but what's it like to be back?
Any reason to come back to New York is a good reason.
Yeah.
I love coming back here.
Yeah.
It's my home, really.
Is this, I guess you've spent more time here in your career than California, is that right?
Most of my adult life and most of my career, yeah.
Wow. And how about you? This is where you got your start on The World Turns?
My blood is getting thinner. I broke down after 3 days and finally bought some gloves. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to buy some gloves. It is a little cold. I love it. Saw a couple plays. I've walked everywhere, hung out down like in the East Village, Upper West Side, East Side, Lower. I've been everywhere, so I'm kind of getting. I went to where I used to live. Went to my little hometown there. I did call it a hometown.
What part of
69th between Central Park West and Columbus.
All right.
I'll tweet a photo.
All right.
Like, yeah.
All right.
I looked at the house next to me. I'm like, I should have got to know my neighbor. That's a beautiful brownstone. Yeah. So.
That's actually also where Ken Corday talks about growing up. That general vicinity in his book.
It's changed. It's evolving all the time. I mean, it was changing when I moved there, which is probably 12 years ago now. Went back, and it's still changing, still evolving. So I guess that's New York City, right?
That is one of the exciting things about this city. So this is just so awesome to see that you two are here in New York and really promoting the legacy of Days of Our Lives and the 45th anniversary. Crystal, you have been, you were part of this 20 years ago.
That's
you came
right.
on the show.
I was just newly born. And
zygote.
That's right. That's right. I started on Days in 1990 and left in 93, and I'm back. So it's exciting, and it's especially exciting to be celebrating such a monumentous anniversary for the show. It's the longest running scripted show on NBC.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting to be a part of that.
And it's really kind of like the underdog, because I think it's the only show to be on its own network in at least 50 years since the beginning of daytime television that it's on its own network. It doesn't have...
We see that as, not being the underdog, but being the victors, because we
Right.
are the
It's
last
victorious.
ones left standing. That's right.
Yeah. So this time around, Carly's been back for a year now, a little over a year. What have been the biggest differences that you've seen in Carly from Carly 1.0 and Carly 2.0?
Well, she was always kind of a flawed person, and I appreciate that. I never thought she'd actually kill somebody, but I'm all game. Whatever makes the show.
What?
What was that? It was,
Note to
I
Daniel.
stood there with a knife, and he walked into it. That's my story.
We
and
saw
I'm
her take the plunge.
sticking
We
to
saw it. We saw it, yeah.
But no, I think she's pretty much the same. She's sort of she gets lost along the way, and for me that just makes a more interesting soap character. It's internal though. It's not something that's put on her. This is the way she's wired, and so for me it makes for a more interesting soap character.
Yeah. The first time around she was so beloved by everybody in Salem, and this time around she's made a few enemies here.
I think they're just being very judgmental.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Agreed.
Okay.
Back off.
She's not all that bad.
No.
She made him cookies at Christmas. We didn't see that show, but she did.
And Dan, now, I really have enjoyed the storyline with you two, finding your long-lost daughter.
Yeah, that was interesting. Here's how this all came about. I had no idea.
Neither did I.
Right, neither one of us. So we rehearsed a scene for the first time when my character meets her character, so to speak. We do one little run-through, and the executive producer, Gary, comes on and goes, by the way, you met a while ago in New York one night. Yeah, you slept together. Or you might have a kid. Action. So, wow, nice to see you. Wow, you look good.
You look as good as you did then.
Wow, and with more clothes on.
That's
Crazy.
right.
Last time I saw you, I was coming out of my hotel room. Wait a minute, that would have been my hotel room. Why am I leaving? That's how Carly is. Get out of your hotel room. I'm done with you now.
That's right. I need my rest.
Now, Daniel Jonas is relatively new to the canvas, given the
Yes,
45-year
he is.
history, and yet he has made quite an impact in his time. He's already saved the lives of several citizens in Salem.
Oh my God, yes, and I continue to do so. I'm saving people with my hands, with the heart, massaging the heart to life. If I had a
Is that
litany
what
of
you were massaging?
exactly
I don't know.
the heart, I aim for the heart, reaches the soul.
That's it.
Now that
That's
you could fit on a
right.
business card.
Thank
Wouldn't
you
that be
very
nice?
much.
Dr.
Dr.
Jonas,
Jonas.
aim for that. But he's quite...
Massages the heart, elevates the soul.
Reach the soul.
Well, he's become quite a hero in town. However, he's also now become kind of the outsider in the secret that so many people in Salem are aware of.
What's he do?
Now, I'm talking to Shawn here. I'm not talking to Daniel. But, you know,
Oh, yes.
so
I know, I have people
the
tell me
secret of Chloe's, Parker's paternity. So what is that like for you? I've talked to actors before who sometimes don't always love being in the role of the one who doesn't know. How is that for you?
Well, I think there's two things. For me, I can justify it a couple ways. I think Daniel knows more than you think he knows, for one. One justification. Two, you would do anything for the person you love, and you may not want to know the truth, because it's interesting. Every time everyone's ready to tell him, he's like, I did that. I don't want to talk. Or his pager.
cut people off
his-
quite a bit.
I do. His
You
pager
do.
goes off. My pager doesn't go off. This is a Daniel. Sorry. We'll talk later. Pager got an emergency. So quite often, it's interesting that I don't think he wants to hear something that may be crushing news. I don't know. You know, when you love someone, you're like, that don't ruin it.
So it might
I
be
think
some
that's part of
conscious
it.
denial or unconscious
Could
denial.
be. I mean,
going on?
look, yeah, I think part of it's that he's a pretty savvy character, street smart character. So I don't think he's completely in the dark, considering his past as well.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think you do anything for love. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, they say love is blind, and I guess on SOAPS, so that's quite often the case.
Exactly.
There's certainly a lot of chemistry between you two and your characters. A lot of fans have even speculated on the possibility that this may all even end up with Daniel and Carly getting back together.
What? They only had a one-nighter, so that they have a lot to build on. But
But there's definitely an affection, there's
no,
respect.
but that's not true. We developed a friendship.
Yeah, you
with
knew my
medical,
wife,
I introduced
ex-wife.
you to your
My
late wife.
My late wife.
your late
yeah,
wife.
Right.
Given this is a soap, we wonder how late she is.
Exactly.
But we
right.
wonder for now. That's all.
Rebecca. What'd you do with Rebecca?
I don't know. I put her somewhere.
Um,
There we go.
Playing spin the bottle. Next thing I know, Rebecca's gone.
Now, I just want to also tell both of you how much I'm enjoying season 2 of Venice.
Thank you.
It's really, I mean, I love the storytelling. It's tight, it's cohesive.
Thank you.
The stories are really developing and going somewhere. How in the world are you balancing this amazing feat and doing days full time at the same time? You're like Superwoman.
I was very tired there for a while, but now that everything is edited and we've finished the season, it's sweetened, it's done. All I have to worry about are the technical aspects of things, and that's less worrisome than last season. So it's all been really good, and days is actually, I mean, it's quite the luxury job. I mean, we might, even if we work 5 days a week, we might work a half a day.
Right.
So it's nothing to complain about.
So I understand that you're filming
Yeah.
so many episodes, but you're actually, I think the first time you were there, I understand you often had 12, 16-hour days,
Yeah,
and
the first
now
time was crazy.
now you get out at a decent time
Very
in the
decent.
afternoon. How does that work? How are you doing how are you doing so much work and still getting out at a decent hour of the day or the afternoon?
They're very organized, and you get a
Yeah.
dress rehearsal, and you get usually one take.
Yeah, and the people we're working with are very professional.
Yeah.
Everyone's prepared, and it makes you step up. You know, I think there's a wonderful kinetic energy to it. When you do, for me, when you go at that pace, because everybody knows we're getting one run at this, let's go and bam, and
And I
it's
like
pretty
it that way.
lucrative.
I don't know
do
about
too.
you, but I like it's sort of like being on stage. It's like you
Yeah.
don't have a chance to screw up. You better go out and do it right the first time.
It is. It's
and make your
electric, right?
choices. It really is.
Wow. When you're here in New York, I imagine, I mean, so many of your co-stars from other shows you've been on are here. Do you go to PPAC? Do you see your friends? What's it like?
I may in fact go to PPAC. I'm
Yeah?
coming back next week, so I may be out there with Hillary. My friend Hillary's
Yeah,
lives
she
out
kind of lives
there.
near there. How about Jessica? She's here,
I saw
working
Jessie
here?
in October. I
Yeah?
may see her again next week.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I stay in touch with them. I text them all. I text everybody all the time. Give me your number. I'll text you.
Here's my number.
We know.
I've had some lunch with some friends from As the World Turns. That was kind of, yeah.
That's awesome.
Caught up
How are
with
they
them.
doing? I mean, with
They're
the
doing,
loss of the show.
I know, they're doing great. It's you know, it's sad because, once again, this is another show that's a part of television history. And like, you know, like this book is a reflection of 45 years of television history. So it's a little sad, you know, you see like, oh my God, we've been working for 15, 20 years, this woman was on the show. And so it's a little sad to see that, but you know what, they're happy.
But that's a good point, that this book represents
Yes.
45 years, but also the promise of a future, which is not something that every show can talk about.
That's right.
And the book encompasses not the entire 45 years, obviously, but pictures from when it started, and all new pictures, things that people haven't seen before.
Yeah.
I was kind of excited when they said, you know, will you come up and will you, you know, take some candid, because, you know, actors don't know how to be candid most of the time. They're like trying to be natural, you know, but it really was one of those situations where we really forgot that they were there, so they got some really cool shots.
Clearly, I forgot you were there. Can we come and take can we come in and take some pictures? What? Yeah, I'm just getting in the wardrobe or out of wardrobe. Don't worry about it. It's going to be in this little book we're doing.
Well, looking through the book, Shawn, I think you're the only actor whose feet we get to see in the book.
Lovely feet. Yes.
So you do get a nice shot of Shawn's feet.
There's a history for you. Right there.
There's part of the history.
That's a nice feat, I will say.
A little bit.
So as you two know, I am a therapist. I'm going to do a little exercise here. Just put you on the spot. Shawn, I'm going to ask you in 5 words or less to describe Crystal.
I'm sweating right now.
5 words or less.
She
Describe
makes
Crystal
me,
Chappell.
She
5
makes
words.
me sweat.
Okay.
That's 4. ... will stand for 5, and you can figure out the rest.
How about Shawn? What are 5 words to describe Shawn? 5 words or less.
Funny, adorable, groper. Oh, did I say that out loud?
What did you say?
What? Nothing.
I forgot. I did not hear, actually.
Nothing.
I had to close my ears. But we want to rewind the tape. I want to hear the word.
Talented and sensitive.
That's lovely.
you.
That's lovely. That's great. Well, I really want to thank you both for taking time to speak with me and to come here to New York and for being part of the legacy of Days of Our Lives that we have all been part of and enjoying so much.
We're grateful. I mean, like I said, this Days of Our Lives book is a 45 years of vintage photos, behind-the-scene photos.
And feet.
And feet. But it is a television history in the making. So we're continuing to do this, and we'll continue to go on. So
It sure is. And I'm really glad you two are part of that, and I hope
you.
we'll stay part of that
It'll
for
be
a
up on the
very,
screen
very
here,
long
but
time.
I'm glad I'm invited.